first tonight, the Food and Drug Administration is warning of a medication shortage.
Adderall and amoxicillin are some of the medications in low supply, just to name a few. Experts saying it is a cause for concern. So Mamie Ba is live from Dayton Children's after speaking with doctors and pharmacists tonight. Mamie, what's playing a role in that shortage of amoxicillin?
The popular children antibiotic is in high demand, but supply is low. And I'm told when children are ill, sometimes it's hard to determine whether it's a bacterial infection or a viral infection. In those cases, amoxicillin is prescribed, and it's leading to a shortage, especially now when you see flu, COVID, and RSV. Doctors tell me it's just the perfect storm.
We're seeing a lot of respiratory illnesses, primarily due to viruses, some with secondary bacterial infections as well, or maybe, infection with viruses and bacteria. And so using a lot of amoxicillin to treat those types of infections.
So maybe another drug in short supply is also Adderall?
Yes, the FDA just most recently added it to its list, and it's saying it'll take about 30 to 60 days for supplies to get back up to where they need to be. Now, there's also reports that there's a shortage of insulin. While that's not on the FDA's list, there is some buzz about it at this time. Now, I also spoke to doctors about that. So coming up at 6:30, take a listen to what they have to say about that, and also tips if you need any prescriptions when it comes to those medications. Back to you.
Mamie, thanks so much. The woman accused of drowning her 93-year-old grandmother has had her bond set at $500,000. Heidi Matheny was arrested Wednesday in Preble County after police say she reported and admitted to the crime. Investigators say Matheny told them that she was one of her grandmother's caretakers, but was tired of taking care of her. She's now charged with murder. Formal charges are pending from the Preble County Prosecutor's Office. There are no other suspects, but we're told this investigation is still ongoing.
The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting on Valerie Arms Drive in Harrison Township. Happened this afternoon. Sheriff Rob Streck says a man was at home when he heard what he believed to be a saw on metal outside. That man has been a victim of catalytic converter theft before, so he went outside, confronted a guy who had indeed sawed off his catalytic converter.
When he confronted that individual, he told him to stop, that he was going to call police. He had the phone in his hand, was trying to call 911. At that point, we believe that our victim was approached and attacked by the suspect. During the fight, there was a gunshot where the suspect was shot in the leg.
That suspect was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is investigating this as self-defense.
A live look in Buffalo now. 11 counties in New York are now under a state of emergency tonight as a dangerous, life-threatening snowstorm hits that region. It could be the largest in more than 20 years. More than 4 feet of heavy lake-effect snow is expected to be dumped on the region. That's as much as 3 inches an hour. Now, intense wind gusts and below normal temperatures are also in the forecast there. There's a driving ban in some parts of the city and all of Erie County. But some say this is no big deal.
We live in Buffalo. It's expected.
We've been through this before. It's not, to me, it's no big deal.
This is not your normal snow fall in the city of Buffalo or in the region. This is a snow storm with potentially deadly consequences.
Authorities are urging everyone there to take this storm seriously.
Yeah, and it's still ongoing there and will continue through the weekend as well. So certainly very dangerous situation going on there. For us here, it's just the cold. We are dealing with bitterly cold temperatures across the area. 26 in Dayton, 25 in Troy, 27 in Greenville, 26 in Sydney. Of course, the wind chill is something that we take into account for us. So you add in the winds, it feels like just 16 currently in Dayton, feels like 14 in Bell Fountain, just 12 in Richmond at this hour. So a little bit of that breeze does make an impact. And this is not our wind chill. Tonight, our air temperature will be 19 degrees. Wind chills going to feel even colder, likely single digits as you wake up tomorrow morning. We will see decreasing clouds, which means we do have some sunshine in the forecast. So I'll time that out for you in just a bit.
Natalie, thanks so much. Big news out of Washington, D.C. tonight. The U.S. Attorney General just appointing a special counsel to oversee multiple investigations of former President Trump. Adam is at the Now Desk for us, and this comes just a few days after the former president announced that he was going to be running again, right?
It does, and Trump's team is not happy about this. They're calling it a political stunt. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland named former federal prosecutor Jack Smith as special counsel. Now, Smith will be the one who will recommend whether criminal charges should be lodged against the ex-president over the Mar-a-Lago document seizure and January 6th.
Throughout his career, Jack Smith has built a reputation as an impartial and determined prosecutor who leads teams with energy and focus to follow the facts wherever they lead. As special counsel, he will exercise independent prosecutorial judgment to decide whether charges should be brought.
Now, Smith is the former acting U.S. attorney in Tennessee, also led the DOJ's public integrity section.
A live look out at our U.S. Capitol building now, where 3 Democrats have announced their bids for the party's top 3 leadership positions. Democratic Congressman Hakeem Jeffries has announced that he will be running for the next House Minority Leader, replacing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. It's a historic move. Jeffries would become the first black person to lead a party in Congress. Now, he's already been endorsed by Pelosi and House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, as well as House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn. Now, Congresswoman Catherine Clark wants to replace Jim Clyburn as House Majority Whip, the number 2 position in the Democratic caucus. And Congressman Pete Aguilar is running for Democratic caucus chair. That's the number 3 position.
Some updates on the fight over student loan debt tonight. The White House has now asked the U.S. Supreme Court to allow Biden's student loan relief plan to go forward while the legal battle plays out in court. A federal district court struck down the president's student loan forgiveness program 1 week ago. The plan promises $10,000 in debt forgiveness to people earning less than $125,000. Pell Grant recipients are eligible for up to $20,000 in relief. Federal student loan payments are optional for now as part of Biden's pandemic relief. They'll become mandatory again in January.
And there's a new plan to make it easier for student loan borrowers to drop their debt in bankruptcy. The DOJ released new guidance yesterday. Student loan borrowers have to show that paying off the debt would cause them undue hardship. But now the process is supposed to make it easier to prove that burden and let government attorneys recommend to the court that the debt be dropped.
The U.S. says Saudi Arabia's crown prince should be given immunity in a lawsuit over his role in the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The Biden administration says that Mohammed bin Salman's status should make him immune from the lawsuit from Khashoggi's fiancée. The White House says bin Salman's position as crown prince and Saudi Arabia's de facto ruler should shield him. But this sharply contrasts previous statements by the president on the campaign trail, saying bin Salman should be held accountable for human rights violations.
We were going to, in fact, make them pay the price and make them, in fact, the pariah that they are.
Now, the request is not binding. A judge will ultimately decide whether or not to grant the crown prince immunity.
And Russian leaders saying for the very first time that they are hopeful they can negotiate a prisoner swap with the U.S. It would include the infamous Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, known as the Merchant of Death. He's currently held in a medium security federal prison in Illinois and is expected to be released in 2029. Russia says the two countries haven't reached a common denominator yet, but it's undeniable that Bout is being considered. This would be good news for WNBA player Brittany Griner, who was just sent to a penal colony and is serving a 9-year sentence for drug possession.
A man is dead. A deputy injured in Chillicothe tonight. That shooting happening in just seconds at the Ross County Sheriff's Office. Haley Nelson walks us through what happened with new surveillance and body camera video.
In surveillance video we obtained, you see a person, presumably Nicholas Mitchell, ID'd by the Ohio Attorney General's office, walk up to the back of the Ross County Sheriff's Office in the heart of Chillicothe around 5 Thursday night. You see him knocking, then walking around the back area. There is no audio shared on this surveillance clip. About 20 seconds after first knocking, Sergeant Eric Cochran opens a door. That's when this body camera video from the sergeant comes in.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. Can you help me out something real quick? Can you get a couple more officers?
What's going on?
Somebody said they're going to hurt my family. They wanted me to hurt kids, and I can't do it.
Okay.
So I got to do this.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Guns raised, bullets fired. We're not showing the shooting. All this as the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations continues to look into this.
And that was Haley Nelson reporting tonight. Now, tomorrow is National Adoption Day, and a record number of families here in Montgomery County are having their adoptions finalized. Today's 14 adoptions included 5 teens and 4 separate sibling groups. One of those groups is the new Henderson family. Emma and Timothy have 11 children, both biological and adopted. That's including Hudson, Peggy, and Jacob, whose adoptions were finalized just today. Now, usually these ceremonies are private, but the county opening the doors today to put a light on just how important the foster system is.
Being a foster parent and an adoptive parent is awesome, and there's lots of kids that need the love and the attention, and it's not their fault. And we just want everyone to know that don't be afraid, just step out and love them while you have them.
I just know that there is a great need for foster care workers in the state of Ohio right now. Like they said, what was 100 and some thousand kids that are looking for adoptive homes, 115,000. So, we would implore anybody that's able to step up and do it. It's worthwhile.
Now, all of today's adopted children are foster kids that are being adopted out. There are about 100 kids that are looking for their permanent forever homes right now in Montgomery County. And if you're interested in becoming a foster parent, all you have to do is go to mcohio.org and search for Children Are Waiting.
Live look at the Washington Township Recreation Center now, where Woodland Lights opening night has just kicked off its 30th year. This time around, you can help give the event an extra special meaning and make sure no one goes hungry during this season of giving. With rising food costs, many of our neighbors are struggling to put food on the table, so please join us for the Holiday Help Out Food Drive this weekend. Food donations now being collected there to benefit families in need all over the Miami Valley. Here's the address of the rec center. You can also drop off donations at the Trotwood Firehouse. The Holiday Help Out Food Drive runs all weekend long. You can drop off non-perishable food items at these locations tonight through Sunday. And tomorrow, the Greene County Fish Food Pantry in Xenia is handing out Thanksgiving meals, all as part of their annual Thanksgiving Dinner Helping Hand. It's happening from 10 to 3, doors open at 9 a.m. They're offering turkeys with all the fixings. You must be a Greene County resident and have visited the food pantry twice this year to get a dinner. Last names from A through M will be served from 10 to noon. Last names N through Z will be served from 12 to 2.
Well, cases of measles popping up across Ohio after the break, what health experts say parents need to do, and whether you, as an adult, need to get another shot.
And the 4th round of the high school football playoffs, they start tonight. Up next, we'll look at the games for both tonight and tomorrow.
Plus, I'm tracking a very cold weekend forecast that's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
As Buffalo, New York deals with an epic lake effect snowstorm, we want you to see this unique perspective from a drone over the city overnight. First, it captured lightning associated with the rare phenomenon of thundersnow, but you can also see downtown engulfed with bands of snow in the distance, all while the foreground remains clear. That's a common characteristic of these types of storms.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Twitter.
Well, welcome. It is the weekend before Thanksgiving, and we are getting down to it in high school football. We're getting close to that state championship game.
We really are. Tonight is regional final week for Divisions 1, 2, 3, and 5, and we have several area teams that are in action tonight. Springfield, they're going to be in London tonight as they take on Olentangy Liberty. That's a team from the Columbus area, and we've seen in the regular season how a couple of GWOC teams posted wins against Columbus area teams, so Springfield looking to get another W. Also tonight, we got Tippecanoe at Trotwood. They'll be facing Dayton, and then in Division 5, we have a rematch from the regular season. Valley View, their only loss was to Milton Union. Well, the Spartans and Bulldogs meet each other tonight. That game going on up at Piqua tonight.
So when you look at this tonight, Matt, we got several teams that could be making it into the state semis.
We do. Obviously, the Valley View Milton Union winner will be in the semifinal next week. We will have a Division 7 participant tomorrow. That's when Fort Loraby takes on New Bremen. That game at Sydney, the winner of that will also be guaranteed a game next week. So it's going to be very interesting to see who else is able to get into those Final Four for all 7 divisions.
All right, that is coming your way tonight at 10 on Fox and 11 on ABC. Until then, Natalie, we'll send it back to you.
Well, tracking clouds and eventually a few flurries around the area too, but overall much quieter forecast, especially when you compare it to what's going on over the Great Lakes. Take a look at this, where we have the darker blue indicating very heavy snow. So there's a lake effect snow band that's just continuing on, and this will move through overnight into the day tomorrow as well. It's just going to be a messy weekend. This is on top of the enormous amounts that they have already seen. For us here, quieter. We do have some lake effect snow that has been seen up into northeastern Ohio, but for us in the Miami Valley, we're just going to be dealing with the cold, really cold weather in place. In fact, this is a look at what we're tracking overnight. Lows in the 20s, waking up to even teens by early in the morning, but wind chills likely in the single digits. Then heading into our Saturday afternoon, we're talking mid-30s, a little bit of some sunshine, and also some clouds and maybe a few flurries streaming through late into the day on Saturday.
Natalie, thanks so much. Columbus is right now dealing with an outbreak of measles. Right now, 19 kids have been sickened and 9 are in the hospital. All of those kids are unvaccinated. So if you were vaccinated as a child, do you need to get another shot? Maria Durant has the answers for us tonight.
Measles is generally a childhood infection. It was once very common, but doctors say with a vaccine, it can almost always be prevented. And if you've had a vaccine as a child, doctors say typically as an adult, there's no need to get a booster.
The growing measles outbreak in Columbus sparking all sorts of questions, especially as we head into the holidays. Doctors urging parents to get their children vaccinated if they're 12 months or older.
When you go to school, they do verify people's vaccination status. However, there are exceptions that sometimes are easier to get through. And again, we are seeing more vaccine exceptions. A lot of it is basically due to misinformation, disinformation from years ago, thinking that the measles vaccine was associated with autism, and that's pure science fiction.
Dr. Joseph Gustado says if you've received your measles vaccine as a child and you're certain of it, you do not need to get a booster shot. In Columbus, I'm Maria Durant.
Well, developing right now, the Justice Department has opened antitrust investigations into Ticketmaster. Adam is at the Now Desk. What's behind this?
So the New York Times is reporting this investigation is going to focus on whether Live Nation Entertainment has abused its power over the music industry. This comes, of course, after the whole Taylor Swift ticket chaos. A lot of angry buyers who couldn't get tickets because of technical problems and other issues. Consumer advocates estimate Ticketmaster controls 70% of primary ticketing sales.
A story from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal. Now, the Dayton Victory Project is planning to open a new facility. The nonprofit recently purchased the former Seventh-day Adventist Church on Oak Ridge Avenue. The Victory Project is dedicated to helping young men in the community. However, this new facility is going to focus on young women. This new division will be the home of the Victory Project Girls Division. And we have all the details right now on Dayton247now.com. You can find this story plus others like it right there under the Dayton Business Journal heading in the News tab.
All right, so we all know it's been cold out there for today. We're going to continue to feel the cold as we head into this weekend. Taking a look at our future feels like temperature. So this is the wind chill. So factoring in the wind, this is what it feels like to you. Waking up tomorrow morning, we're talking about the potential for some single-digit wind chills, waking up to maybe feeling like 8 in Salina, 9 in Troy. So needing to be bundled up as we head into our early Saturday morning. Now, by Saturday afternoon, still pretty chilly. One thing we will see Saturday afternoon is a little bit of some sunshine, so that will be an improvement. But we actually have another cold front that's going to head its way in that will drop our temperatures even more as we head into Sunday. So potentially seeing some below zero wind chills as we head into our early Sunday morning. We're talking about just a very frigid start to our day on Sunday afternoon. Likely going to stay below freezing, and then we're also going to have our feels like temperatures in the 20s throughout the day. Now, the good news is that I do have a little bit of a warm up in the forecast, and in fact, by next week, we do have some 50s by next Tuesday and Wednesday.
Natalie, thanks. A holiday family favorite is back at the Schuster Center. Still ahead, a sneak peek at the Reich's holiday windows and when you can go take a look.
And it's time for your TikTok of the day. Have you ever seen a wavy cloud? If not, I'm going to tell you about it. Have you ever seen these wavy clouds like in this picture here? These are asperatus clouds, and they're actually the most recent cloud to be added to the World Meteorological Organization's Cloud Atlas. Now, these clouds form when there's some turbulence and wave-like motion going on in the atmosphere, and they look fairly ominous, but are typically
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Longtime Dayton holiday tradition now underway in downtown. Elise Coulter takes us inside the Schuster Center, where they're already spreading holiday cheer.
It is always an exciting time of year downtown Dayton. Christmas time is here, but guys, the Reichs windows are back and they are looking as beautiful as ever. Let's take a look. We've got plenty to look at today. The snow day, oh, so sweet. Christmas time. These are such a classic here in downtown Dayton. Obviously, for you folks who have been here all your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about and just how special and precious every single one of these. Look at the woodland forest. Oh, they're so sweet. And of course, you have to check out the North Pole. These are going to be going on. They kick off this Friday and they go all the way to New Year's Eve. So it is a good time down here. Of course, these are inside the Schuster Center. They're open to the public from now, like I said, all the way until New Year's.
Well, looking like a great weekend to do indoor activities like that, because it's going to be pretty cold out there as we head into these next several days. So decorating forecast next couple of days. Good thing is we have some sunshine. Could see a few flurries by late into the day on Saturday, but otherwise just really cold. In fact, almost want to give it just a no-go, but if you are bundled up, you may be able to bear it outside for the weekend. But looking good on Monday. We're tracking sunshine. Temperatures back into the mid-40s, so that will be a big improvement. Here's a look at our extended forecast as we head into these next 7 days. We are tracking that sunshine through the weekend, and then we will be tracking 50s by next week. It does look like by late Thursday into Friday, move the turkey into our Thursday time frame. Right. I mean, you could eat turkey on Friday. You'll have leftovers,
No shame
turkey
in that.
sandwiches, you know.
Non-stop.
Right.
Well, it is nice that it's going to be warmer, though, because with all the travel happening, it's not going to be as maybe treacherous.
Yeah, exactly right. Especially as we head into that Wednesday time frame when we get back into the 50s. So that will be nice. And then staying a little more comfortable through much of next week, too.
All right, very good. Natalie, thanks. Thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great weekend. If you're heading out, we're headed over to Fox 45 next. We'll see you there. Good night.